Hello everyone, so I just saw, well not just, I saw it a little bit ago, but I saw Masters of the Universe. I thought I'd give a quick review because I want to, even though this review is coming out very late, but I want to still give some quick thoughts on it. So yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. I had a great time with it. I know it's not going to be for everyone. Now, I will say, just because I feel like depending on what your experience with Masters of the Universe and He-Man is, you're probably going to have a different opinion going into it. Me personally, I have no nostalgia for the original show, was not around for it. I think I saw like 2 episodes of the original show randomly, and that's about it. So I didn't see whatever I think there was another live action movie years ago too. I've never seen that either. So I knew some of the basics. Like I knew who He-Man was, and like I knew who Skeletor was, sometimes kind of because of the memes for some of it. But for the most part, I went into this like pretty open-minded. So, and I really, like I said, I really enjoyed it. Now it definitely has some problems, but overall, I just think that I think the cast is great. Again, I didn't have much preference on cast. Like I feel like people who grew up watching the show may have a preference, but like I think everybody did a great job here. With some of the standouts being Nicholas as He-Man, Camila as Teela, Idris Elba as Man-at-Arms, and even, yes, Jared Leto as Skeletor. I think they also did a great decision when it came to the voice of Skeletor, because I knew the voice of Skeletor from the original show, but I mean, how do you do that and have people take it somewhat seriously in a live-action modern-day movie? And I think they went with a great idea, a great version with it. And also there are some great character arcs in this movie too, specifically with He-Man and Man-at-Arms. At least to my opinion, I really enjoyed the character arcs from how they transform throughout the movie, without going into spoilers, because like Man-at-Arms has a great, almost like redemption story with a fall and then a rise again at the end. And then even He-Man has a great character arc also, both with his father as well as just becoming who he's supposed to be, I guess is the best way to say it without, again, spoiling anything. But, so yeah, I thought all the characters in general were great, but those two character arcs specifically are the ones that I was like, oof, I really like how they did that. Some great, like, setup payoff with their character arcs, which was great. The action scenes were incredible in this movie. Like I said before, I'm not the biggest Masters of the Universe fan, but even for me, these action scenes got me hyped and got me excited. Just the way that they're shot and the choreography of these action scenes were, in my personal opinion, incredible. All the sword play was just great, and the use of all of their powers was really cool as well. And then speaking of, I think the cinematography in general was really good, and the movie is just so colorful, which I think is such a great thing. The Eternia looks great. Now, the movie isn't perfect. I do think it has some issues. For example, like, I don't think the movie needed to be 2.5 hours long. I think we could have shortened this movie up a bit. Maybe, like, trim down some of the stuff on Earth. I don't know if we needed to be on Earth for that long. It is a story you've probably seen before. I mean, the story of the Chosen One gets sent away from his home because his home is being attacked and taken over. He goes most likely to Earth, and then he makes his way back to Earth. We've seen this story a couple of times before, but I think it's done in a really enjoyable way here. The humor, I think, will definitely be hit or miss for some people. For me personally, most of it worked. A lot of it did work. I've seen the movie 2 times at this point. The humor definitely hit harder the first time with more of an audience than it did the second time, but it still worked, again, for me personally. And then, I think probably the biggest issue with this movie could be the tone. I think we do have an issue where we're kind of jumping back and forth of this pretty dark tone for adults and this very goofy tone for kids, if that makes sense. I don't know the best way to explain it, because like I feel like we will have moments that get dark, that get violent. People are dying. It's heavy stuff, and then we go and we make this very goofy joke that you'd see in a kids movie. There's even jokes in here that are definitely like adult jokes, innuendo jokes that will go over the kids' heads, but which I found hilarious. I'm not gonna lie to you; those had me laughing pretty hard. But but still, it's kind of funny, just the tone, because we're going pretty, we have some adult stuff, and then we have some kid stuff. I don't know if they balanced it as well as they probably could have, and I do feel that's going to have, a lot of people are going to have different opinions on that. For me, I was still able to enjoy it. I enjoyed the goofiness, and I enjoyed the darkness, but there are definitely going to be some people out there who are like, they should have leaned full-on goofy, or people who believe it should have leaned full-on dark. And I think they could have balanced that tone a bit better. Maybe tone down some of the darkness and maybe tone down some of the goofiness. I don't know. But that's just my... I think that could be an issue for a lot of people, because it's like, do you take your kids to see this one? I don't know, because, like I said, it gets kind of dark at times, but also it's goofy enough that they're going to have fun with it. I think it depends, probably like the older kids, not like super young, but also not like adults either. So I think it definitely will depend when it comes to stuff like that. So at least for me personally, I think that's one thing that will be an issue for a lot of people. Like I said, again, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the darkness and the goofiness, but it will be a problem for some people. I definitely could see that. But I think that's the main thing I have to say about it. Oh, also, I do want to add just a quick more thing. I think back to the characters, I think Adam himself is also like very likable in this movie. He gives me kind of like... he makes me think of the recent Superman with David Cornsweet a little bit, because of just how like likable he is and how kind of a person he can be. I just think I love that they make him such a likable character, and it makes me want to get behind him and root for him throughout this movie. I also think the movie does do a great job, because we're based on an old cartoon that, yeah, let's be honest, can be very goofy. I mean, just look, the names in general are very goofy. I think they do such a great job at being able to poke fun at that cartoon, but also be respectful. Like a way that's kind of hard to explain. Like, yeah, we acknowledge this is goofy, it's silly, it's funny, but they are doing it in such a respectful way. Like, yes, but it's also very important to a lot of people. So I just think it does such a great job at that. And I think that's pretty much all I have to say about this movie. Should you see this in theaters? Well, I'm a little late to this, so probably a lot of you probably already have. And this is, I think, can be hard, because like it depends on the person. And like, I know, so I went with some friends who did like who were fans of the show, and I remember they went into it thinking, we're probably not going to like this because we're going to, expect one thing and get something else, and they ended up really liking it. I think that's going to depend so much on preference. Like, I know there's a lot of people, a lot of fans of the show I've heard on the internet did not like the movie for whatever reason. They wanted it to be more catered toward them as adults, or other people wanted it to be more like the cartoon, like mentioned before. So I'm gonna say, oh, this is really hard for this movie. If you are a huge Masters of the Universe fan, or you want to have a fun time at the movies, because this movie is a blast to see in theaters, then I would say yes, go see this in theaters. You probably already did, but if you haven't yet, go do that as soon as possible. Especially with the crowd, I think this will play best with a crowd. And also, just the colors on that big screen would be amazing. Oh, but if you have like zero interest in this movie, again, it's not gonna be one that's gonna be like, oh wow, I was interested, but I absolutely love this. I highly doubt that. If you had zero interest, you're probably not gonna be too into it. So wait for streaming. Another thing I want to add real quick before we're done, because I wanted to mention it, the score of this movie I think is also awesome. It's so cool because they take the original TV music and they turn it into like this modern epic music, but it's still very recognizable. Like, you hear it and you know that's He-Man, that's Masters of the Universe, but it fits this movie and it sounds just so epic, and it pairs with the scenes perfectly. And there's also just some epic moments. Again, I'm not even a fan of Masters of the Universe, but there are scenes like the transformation scenes in this movie that even I get goosebumps and I'm like, ooh, that is kind of awesome. And like I said, I'm not even a fan, so I feel like, at least I hope, fingers crossed, that big fans of Masters of the Universe feel that time, but even more so. So yeah, okay, that I think is all I have to say about Masters of the Universe. I think I'm done now. If you like this video, please hit like. If you want to see more like it, subscribe. I've done a bunch of movie reviews. Plan to do many more for this summer. We got a lot coming out. And yeah, please tell me all of your thoughts about Masters of the Universe, whether you loved it, you hate it, you thought it was okay, why you loved it or hated it. Let me know down in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Bye.